sensors back to normal and stood resignedly. The buzz from the laser-sensing units on his harness stopped at his admission of defeat, and he turned, wondering how Harry had slipped around behind him. But it wasn't Harry, and he ground his teeth as a diminutive figure splashed ashore. She'd shed her bright blue jacket, Sean knew exactly where, and she was soaking wet, but her brown eyes blazed with delight. "I got you!" she shrieked. Sean's dead, Harry." He managed not to use any more of his forbidden vocabulary when the 8-year-old ninja began an impromptu war dance. But it was hard, especially when his twin threw herself into the dance with her half-pint ally. Bad enough to lose to girls, but to be ambushed by Sandy McMahon was insupportable. She was 2 years younger than he. This was the first time she'd even been allowed to play, and she'd killed him with her first shot. "Your elation at Sean's death is scarcely becoming, Sandra." The deep, mellow voice coming from empty air surprised none of them. They'd known Dahak all their lives, and the self-aware computer's starship body was one of their favorite playgrounds. "Who cares?" Sandy demanded gleefully. "I got him! Sap!" She pointed her pistol at Sean and collapsed with a wail of laughter at his expression. "Look!" he shot back, holstering his own pistol with dignity he knew was threadbare. "You were just lucky, Sandy." "That is incorrect, Sean," Dahak observed with the dispassionate fairness Sean hated when it was on someone else's side. "Luck implies the fortuitous working of chance, and Sandra's decision to conceal herself in the lake, which I observed you did not check once, was an ingenious maneuver. And as she has cogently, if unkindly, observed, she got you." "So there." Sandy stuck out her tongue, and Sean turned away with an injured air. It didn't get any better when Harriet grinned at him. "I told you Sandy was old enough, didn't I?" she demanded. He longed to disagree, violently. But he was an honest boy, and so he nodded begrudgingly, and tried to hide his shudder as a vision of the future unrolled before him. Sandy was Harry's best friend, despite her youth, and now the little creep was going to be underfoot everywhere. He'd managed to fend that off for over a year by claiming she was too little. Until today. She was already 2 course units ahead of him in calculus, and now this. The universe, Sean Horace McIntyre concluded grumpily, wasn't exactly running over with justice. Amanda Chien and her husband stepped out of the transit shaft outside Dahak's command deck. Her son, Taman, followed them down the passage, but he was almost squirming in impatience, and Amanda glanced up at her towering husband with a twinkle. Most described Chien Daoling's face as grim, but a smile flickered as he watched Taman. The boy might not be his in any biological sense, yet that didn't mean he wasn't Taman's father, and he nodded when Amanda quirked an eyebrow. "All right, Taman," she said. "You can go." "Thanks, Mom." He turned in his tracks with the curiously cat-like awkwardness of his age, and dashed back towards the transit shaft. "Where's Sean, Dahak?" he demanded as he ran. "He is on Park Deck 9, Taman," a mellow voice responded. "Thanks. See you later, Mom, Dad." Taman ran sideways for a moment to wave, then dove into the shaft with a whoop. "You'd think they hadn't seen each other in months," Amanda sighed. "I do not believe children live on the same time scale as adults," Chien observed, in his deep, soft voice as she tucked a hand through his elbow. "You can say that again." They turned the final bend to confront the command deck hatch. Dahak's crest coiled across the bronze-gold battle steel. A 3-headed dragon, poised for flight, clawed 4